Looks good. You're up against Teemo. Talia mid. Okay. So first things first, Teemo is a rough lane until you hit 6. Once you hit 6, it becomes the best lane. So first things first, I always suggest that you start either here or here. Some way in which you can defend the jungle. Last game, you saw the extreme benefits that came from me hiding here. Because I hid here, the Swain showed up, I hit him with a Q, the Vlad made it here first, and we managed to chunk him down quite a bit before the laning phase, and that was huge. It was significant. I mean, it didn't mean that much at the end, but it is a good option. Since you're not protecting the jungle, there's no knowing if they might be going and counter jungling. Since Teemo's up here, I don't think they are, but you never know. But yeah, in general, you always want to be either in your own jungle protecting it, or with your team invading the enemy jungle or protecting against their invade. In general, just waiting in lane is not the best option. You know where he is, you can actually hit him with a Q. That was really good. He only got 1, maybe 2 autos on you. And in the process, you managed to hit him with your Q, and the minions managed to hit him a bit, so you ended up winning the trade. I don't like that you're pushing, though. I would advise against pushing. Teemo has the harass advantage. You want it pushing towards you. Yeah, I mean, it's nice you have a big minion wave so that when he does attack you, you'll be just fine. Because your minions will chase him off and probably return as much damage as he did to you. But I would advise against pushing a Zac. Especially in the early game, because this is when you are weakest. This is the point in the game where one jungle gank can get you killed very easily. I mean, now that you're already pushed, you might as well just use your abilities to shove it in. And I like what you're doing. Every time the Teemo approaches you, you back away, forcing him to either chase you more and hit you, which would get all of the minion aggro. And it's also, well, except again, the big issue is that you're pushed very far forward. Their jungler shows up, you're going to be in trouble. This ward isn't going to be enough to save you. Unless you have Elastic Slingshot up, which you do have, so. Uh-oh. That's not good. The Caitlyn picked up too. I mean, overall, I'd say your lane's going really well because the Teemo is unable to harass you right now. And now the wave is pushing back. I'd let it push back. You shouldn't be autoing in this case because his wave is now bigger than yours. Why not let it push towards you? You've already been winning these trades against the Teemo just by absorbing his damage. I just don't see a reason to push. Let it push against him. The only benefits to pushing is that your wave will be bigger so that if the trade happens, your minions will add a lot of extra damage. But the deficits for that is if their enemy jungler shows up, you're dead. Like right now, like seriously, if the jungler showed up now, you'd be dead. 100%. There'd be no chance of you surviving. Especially since you just used Elastic Slingshot. There'd be no chance. If, however, the same scenario happened, you were down here, nope, no biggie. Their jungler shows up, no problem. You've got nothing to fear. That was a very risky maneuver. Yeah. It worked out because the Teemo didn't dodge. But if the Teemo, say, flashed, then he could have taken you down most of the way. Or if he just walked out of your elastic slingshot, since Teemo has a lot of movement speed at this point. Works probably just fine. Very nice. Very nice rotation. You rotated before their Teemo rotated. Very nice. Good rotation. Now that you have red buff, it's time to get aggressive, as though you haven't been aggressive so far. You're getting a little low here. However, that kill gave you a lot of XP. I actually wouldn't back right now. Yeah. I don't like that you move forward to show that you're still here. Because you're almost 6. There. Now you're 6. Had you just been waiting in the brush here until you hit 6, this would be a free kill. It might still be, but... 2 tower shots. You couldn't... If you managed to push him back, Ignite, you would have died. Although your Ignite's down, so never mind. Like, imagine if that same scenario, instead of it being on his side, was over here. Free kill. I mean, it could just be that you're playing a different playstyle than mine, but I like having the wave here. I like having the fights happen here. I feel much more comfortable near my tower. When you're up here, so much risk. You're just lucky their jungler hasn't shown up yet. If Fizz had shown up at any point when you were like way up and at 1/3 of your health, you would have just died. It's really risky. Which, by the way, what ELO is this? I'm curious. Silver/gold dice. Yeah, like, if you were playing like this in Diamond, you would have been ganked and killed by now. And then the Teemo would be really far ahead. And a Teemo that's ahead is hard to deal with. Right now, he is so far behind in CS, which is nice. You've been pushing it under the tower, and that's probably been hurting the CSing a lot. But it would not have been worth it because you would have died several times by now, at least once. But now that you have this advantage, he has a Stinger, you have a Spectre's Cowl, you very easily can 100-0 him with your Ignite. And your Ignite will be up in a short amount of time, so that's good. 30 seconds, yeah. I like your positioning here. Very nice. That's how you're supposed to do it. I disagree with that ultimate. You should have just did an EQW combo walk away. Because he was at full health. And you don't have Ignite. And you're too close to his tower. It wasn't going to result in a kill. And because you did that, I mean, you didn't get like the full burst that you could have gotten out of that. If you had just done an EQW, he would have been at half health. All on its own. And then the next one, you would use your ultimate and kill him. This lane, I always think, is a 2-mistake lane. If you hit him with an elastic slingshot QW, that's the first mistake. He's at half health. If you hit him again with an elastic slingshot, he dies. There's nothing he can do to prevent death because you have your ultimate and probably Ignite. Now that you have... See, now he's almost back to full health. You wait... I feel like you used your ultimate too soon. Your ultimate is like the critical tool. It's both an engage and disengage tool. There was no chance for a kill, so you probably should have just held on to it. There, that's what you got to do. Teemo's auto attack range is the exact same range as your Q. Your Q's range is, I think, 550. I think Teemo's auto attack range is also 550. So if he ever wants to hit you with anything, you can always hit him back. Oh, yes, nice. I like your positioning. I like your thought. It looks like you were a little bit premature jumping in. I mean, not every champion's ultimate is like the most critical thing. Like Teemo's ultimate, obviously, it doesn't mean very much. But your ultimate is critical. It's your fighting tool, it's your engaging tool, it's your disengaging tool. It can be whatever you want it to be. Oh, yeah. See, like, if you had your ultimate right now, this would be a free kill. Well, it's still a free kill. You needed to get one more W off. You needed to get one more W off. I would have been a... Oh, now you're going to die for sure. Wait, what? I'm a bit confused as to what you were going for there. It worked out. It worked out. And, in fact, you may even get a kill from the minions here, but... If you're really worried about your life, you should have flash ulted. Because... where'd you walk here? Fizz is in there. The Fizz is in there! You just let the Fizz leave. You're just... He's... Well, now you're screwed. You walked right past the Fizz. Huh. I guess you're not screwed. I guess you're not screwed. That seems mighty lucky. Mighty lucky. Like, you might have been able to kill the Fizz here. No guarantees, but you might have been able to. But yeah. So, in this case, the cleanest way to escape safely would have been to flash past him and ult. You ulted before you even left the brush. I think that was a little bit weird. You shouldn't ult unless you're going to hit somebody with the first bounce. Unless they're really low on health, and you know that the ult's movement speed is the only thing that's going to allow you to catch up to them. But yeah, you shouldn't really use your ultimate unless you can get that first bounce to hit somebody. Because if you can't get the first bounce to land, there's no guarantee you're going to get any other bounce to land. No guarantee. If they have flash, they can just flash out of it. Oh, what? Edibles. We need to do dishes. What? We need to, Audrey. Wait, why am I looking at red? Oh no, that elastic slingshot might just get you killed here. And once again, you ulted prematurely. Yeah, you're probably dead. No, you're definitely dead. So let's look at that again. Two things that I can note here. First, once again, you're pushing it. This isn't too bad that you pushed it under his tower, but what you do next is really bad. You do an elastic slingshot without... wow, you had vision too. You had vision of him, you used your one biggest escape tool, and then, second thing you did was you ulted here. The Fizz didn't get hit by the first bounce, and the second bounce pushed him in the same way you wanted to be running. Your better option would have been to hold on to the ultimate until you could have bounced him backwards. You might have been able to survive that had you done it a little differently. One second, I'll be right back. Alright, where were we? Oops. Looks like people on your team died. So yeah, I do feel like there's... I mean, when I saw the score for this game, I thought to myself, where's there anything for you to learn in a game where you stomp so hard? But I see what you mean now. I see what you mean. As far as laning phase goes, I would modify a lot. I would change a lot with how you're laning. Especially against Teemo. Teemo is such a vulnerable champion to ganks. If you were just sitting here, with your wave sitting here, your jungler would be able to come and make easy kills. And even if your jungler didn't come, you'd be able to make easy kills. You just need to catch Teemo making 2 mistakes. That's it, just 2 mistakes. He makes 2 mistakes and he dies. And eventually, when you're fed enough, he makes 1 mistake and he dies. But you're not at that point yet. You're not at that point yet. If you were paying attention, you saw Teemo teleported, but I'd be focusing on the minion, so I probably wouldn't have spotted that. Not that it matters. He's here, and now you know he probably used his teleport. A minute and a half, and then another minute 45, I'd say. Sorry. Bit distracted. Hiding here is good. If Teemo tries to toss a mushroom in here, you can easily jump at him. Oh, yeah. See, that's just too easy. Now you hit him with your ult. There you go. You should not have ignited him. You should not have ignited him. Too early. There was no guarantee of a kill at that point. You should wait to ignite. The only reason you should ever ignite just like when you jump in initially is if you're fighting against a champion with a lot of burst healing. Like against Trundle, that could make sense. If you think you can kill him past his healing, then you would do that. Or if you're up against a Vlad, who's about to get his blood passive that would double his healing. That's when you would ignite them at the beginning. Otherwise, save your ignite as a killing blow. It's an extra 200 damage that people don't really consider when they're fighting. Not usually. Like in your case, ignite right now does 270 true damage. It's too bad it's gone now, because that ignite can be a kill at another point. Uh-oh. Oh, you got her flash. Uh-oh. Good dodges. It was a nice attempt. Your positioning was a little bit off, but good attempt. Good attempt. Nice. See, if you had your ignite now and your ultimate now, that would be a free kill. Absolutely, that would be a free kill.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
You're... Trying to think of like what would be your next course of action at this point, because I mean, from what it feels like, you're just trying to push out the turret and take it down. Because otherwise, there's no reason to constantly be pushing like this against a champion as vulnerable to you as Teemo is. Like at this point in the game, the way this Teemo is playing, I probably would have killed him 2 or 3 times by now. You got your 1 kill, but it wasn't even off of him. You keep walking over these mushrooms, which is fine, but as long as the waves keep being pushed in like this, the Teemo's getting CS. He's not getting much CS. That was a missed opportunity. That was a missed opportunity. Let's look at that again. When the Teemo chased you here, and you hit him with your Q, immediately at that moment, Elastic Slingshot on top of him. Like right now, Elastic Slingshot on top of him. That would have been free. But you waited until after the slow from your Q had already dropped off. There was no way to hit him with that anymore. And you're... Oh, wow, that's a lot of harass here. Yeah, I don't like Elastic Slingshotting at the Teemo when you haven't hit him with your Q beforehand. It's very unlikely to land unless you're not visible to him at the time. But if you are fully visible to him, the odds of your Elastic Slingshot landing are really low, unless he walks into it. See, why are you doing that? Why not use your Q to prep the Elastic Slingshot? You're probably going to die. Maybe not. I get what you were trying to do. You were trying to flash past him and ult him back this way, which would have been nice. But you should have used the concealment in this brush. Unless, is there a ward in here? There's no ward in there. The only vision he had of you while you were in here, no. The only vision he had of you while you were in here was from a mushroom. So what you should have done was hit him with a Q, duck into the brush. If he tried to chase you, then you could flash past him and ult, or elastic slingshot and ult. And either way, you would have been just fine. It looks like, conceptually speaking, it looks like your knowledge of Zack's pretty good. And it looks like some of the mechanical elements of playing him could use some improvement. So, like one of the big mechanics that I take advantage of is Q, elastic slingshot. You land the Q, the E is almost guaranteed to land unless they flash. It's very hard for Teemo, without flash, to dodge an elastic slingshot after being hit by a Q. Very hard. And if you manage to land it, you're going to chunk off half of his health. It seems like you're just trying to make stuff happen without the necessary prep work. In this case, the prep work is land the Q. See, like right now, this is good. Oh yeah, now if you ult him, now there's no way he can escape. In this case, the ignite, again, I feel like you're doing it too early, but it doesn't matter now. Now he dies. Now he dies. Oh my god, he's not gonna get away, is he? Wait, why did you jump that way? Yeah, he's not escaping. I think he's trying to get an execute, and he might get it. He might get it. That's too bad. See, had you not ignited him at the very beginning, I think that you probably could have... Well, I'm not sure you could have secured the kill, but at least you wouldn't have wasted it. You wouldn't have wasted the ignite. Because in that case, the ignite was a waste. I feel like this is like the second or third time I've seen you ignite very early and not result in a kill because of that. You should have a bit more patience when it comes to your ignite. Your ignite is a finishing tool. It's not an engage tool. You should wait until you know, I've got enough damage now. The ignite will just ensure that that guy dies. In your chase also, you should have gone for the most direct route because the Teemo, why would you jump into here? This would just mean that you would need to take an indirect route to cut him off. Had you just flown straight, you might have been able to catch him. Probably not, but maybe. Oops. Yeah. You probably should have waited for the full charge of Elastic Slingshot, but I didn't see if she used her CC at that point. Yeah, it looks like your laning phase could use some improvement. So when I say mechanical execution, also up here when you did that flash ult, you were ranging in that moment. I see. When you did that flash ult, had you been just a little bit further up, it would have worked. So in that case, it's more of an understanding of the size of flash. The good news is, and this is really good news, your CS is amazing. 163 to his 113, you've been CSing really well. And although you've been shoving in and putting yourself at extreme risk, you've only died once. That's good. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that you're using Elastic Slingshot when you haven't prepped it with a Q first. Had you prepped it with a Q first, you would have landed it, and then the two of them might not have been able to kill you. Ah, your camera angle was shit, I see. Yeah, she's a goner. She should be. Yeah, she's dead. Nice. Oh, now Teemo's dead for sure, too. Poor Teemo. Once Teemo gets hooked in like that, his only option is, shit, let me try and hurt somebody. That's his only option. That's a really early Baron. But you guys did just ace them, so that makes sense. So so this would be a good moment to look at who's fed on the team and who's not. Teemo, not fed, not going to be a concern. Fizz, not fed, not really going to be a concern. Now, the Talia has got some kills. Talia does have decent burst, good zone control. She's a pretty strong champion when she's actually ahead. And in this case, she is. So, although she's not a direct threat to you, she is a priority target, and their Caitlyn is 463. She is also a priority. I'd say the Caitlyn is probably your biggest priority target, and the second biggest would be Talia. Both of them are targets that you can easily land your Elastic Slingshot on, given stealth. So, yeah. And it's nice you managed to take the tower with a Baron buff. That's good. I mean, I can already guess how the rest of this game goes. I think the laning phase is definitely something you can improve on. And that's nice. It's nice to know that you have room for improvement. Because if you're in like silver and gold and don't know why you're not doing well or don't know where you can improve, that would be frustrating. Here, after watching this game, I think I can pinpoint a few areas that if you worked on, you'd easily be able to climb. So, like, the biggest thing, I'd say, the biggest thing that has been a problem for you this game, beyond pushing in, was not going for the QE combo. The QE combo is your bread and butter lane combo. That is how you get your burst off without the enemy being able to avoid it. What am I missing here? So let's see what's going on here. Oh, what just happened? I don't know if I would have ulted there. But... wow, you're in trouble. Yeah, you're dead. I see this is going to be your second death. Well... yeah, this will be your second death. Ouch. So when you jumped in, you got hooked, you ulted. I don't think there's a reason for that ult. Because at that point, your ult, the best it could have done was hit just the Thresh. And the Thresh was under the tower. I'd say at that point, you should just, you should have backed away. The fight still ended up relatively okay, but yeah, I feel like it would have been better if you just backed away. So you're 1, 2, 3. This looks like a great game to improve on, but very soon you're about to get a whole lot of kills and a whole lot of assists. No way! No way! No way the Blitzcrank just stole that dragon! I'm pretty sure he would be saying something in all chat, commemorating that moment. Beautiful steal from the Blitz. It was a really good job on his part. They should have smited. You should always smite. Unless you have vision over the wall and know they're not there, you should always smite. Or at the very least, they could have pulled it out of the pit, and then the Blitz would not have been able to hook it. It was just multiple mistakes. You're currently pushing out top lane while your team's fighting in mid. Oh, wow! Which is fine, because your team is really strong. Your team is strong enough where you can get away with this. Very easily get away with just split pushing. I'm actually all for it. Your team is strong. I'm for this split push. Your team doesn't need you, so just go for it. Yeah, your team doesn't need you. Just take the tower. Absolutely. This guy's serious? Oh, if you landed that Q, you could have taken off half his health. Easily. He's got no magic resist still. He's playing full squish Teemo. He's asking to get killed. He's asking to get killed. You've got so much magic resist now. He's got no damage. Your team is still... yeah, your team's going to get the inhibitor. Oh, what are you doing, Fizz? What are you doing? You should be going for the tower. Where are you going? Stealing the red buff's a good call. Stealing the red buff's a good call. You're not going to be able to get this tower in one wave, but you can definitely take the red buff. Good call. I like that. I like that decision. Yeah, you should be joining your team, though. I'm guessing this is where you're going to pick up a few kills. Thresh is not a priority target. Wow, that worked. Oh my god, that worked! But yeah, yeah, don't go in. You would have died if you elastic slingshotted over those mines. They would have killed you. Huh. That was an interesting maneuver by the Talia. Wow, and he's not gonna die. He's not gonna die. Good job. Good job. So yeah, first things first. When you in that fight there, you ulted Thresh. Your ult should only be used to guarantee a kill or hit enemy squishy backliners. Their Thresh is not squishy. He's got Lock of the Iron Solari, Face of the Mountain, Giant Belt. He's not a squishy target. And when you ulted, there was no guarantee of a kill. You ulted very early. It looks like control and knowing when to ult and knowing when to ignite are also two areas where you can improve on. And that would help a lot. As both learning how to control your ignites would have given you probably a kill or two in the laning phase that you didn't get. And controlling your ultimate would have also gotten you a kill or two during the laning phase. And it would have also been very helpful in getting you to escape in one of those deaths that you had. So I'd focus on that. I'd focus on learning how to control the wave so it's pushing against you. Learning when to use your ultimate and when not to. Because the cooldown is short, yes, but it's not that short. And learning when to ignite. Because you ignite usually at the very beginning when you all in somebody. When you should be igniting towards the end. Several times your ignite was just totally wasted because there was no kill and you tried anyways. Still, I mean, overall, your the rotations you've been doing have been really good. The team fights that you have been a part of, you've been, at the very least, useful. But yeah, if you tighten up those elements of your gameplay, you'll be much better. You'll easily be able to climb to plat with that sort of gameplay knowledge. I like your positioning, but your elastic slingshot's very early. Actually, I don't like your positioning, if that's what you were going for. You should have been either here or here with your elastic slingshot. You don't want to be going for the Thresh. That was a bit of a mistake. Thankfully, your team's really strong, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, I would say you'd want to be here or at the front absorbing damage. In this case. Oh, there's your kill. There's your kill. But yeah, elastic slingshotting here when your team is pushing up the inhibitor, it's not really going to accomplish much. If you were here, you'd be able to hit most of this zone, which would be good. If you were here, you can tank the damage, and in that case, your priority is not to jump on champions like Thresh, but simply to zone. Zone their team so your team can take out the inhibitor. And I think that's the third time this game where you've ulted the Thresh and the Thresh alone. In this case, it was fine, but hold on to that ultimate. Use it on targets that are more valuable. In the end, your ultimate does a lot of damage. It's nothing to sneeze at. It does, on the first bounce, it does 340 damage for you right now. Or 330 damage. On the first bounce. And every bounce thereafter is half that. It's a lot of damage. You land 2 bounces, that's over 500 damage. 3 bounces, it's over 700 damage. It's a lot. It adds up. So you don't want to be just using your ultimate frivolously. This is interesting. The two of you are two-manning, which, by the way, you should be letting him tank it up a bit more. Because Warwick has got a lot of healing, and this Warwick in particular has a lot of healing because of Blade of the Rune King and Spirit Visage. Let him tank. You're losing a lot of health for no reason. So one of the few times where I actually suggest you let somebody other than you tank. Oh, that was an opportunity. Yeah. I think you were just a little bit late in starting that elastic slingshot. So I don't think there was actually an opportunity for a kill. Because the red buff was already gone by the time you started. So, doesn't matter. You guys got Baron. You're not pushing the top wave in. All's good. All's good. Let me look at your gold. You've got 1,500 gold just sitting here waiting to be used. But it doesn't matter. You want to take this tower down. And you've got Twitch here. You've got a Baroned up minion wave. This is the right call. Right call. No idea what Blitz and Warwick are doing. But yeah, now you guys should back away. Oh, wow. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. That Blitz hook was beautiful. He grabbed the most vulnerable person on their team and brought it into your team's loving arms. Yeah. I'm not sure I like that idea. There was no reason to push forward like that. Just take the towers. Take the free objectives. Don't risk your life. I don't think you were really risking your life because the only people, they're all magic damage and you're loaded with magic resistance. But, But why risk it? Why not just go for the easy and free objectives? I mean, Bloodthirst makes sense, and you guys are up 38 to 18, so I'd be bloodthirsty too. I'd be bloodthirsty too, but this game's over. There's really no point in this game continuing on any further. They should have surrendered. You guys are up this much, 2 inhibitors down, there's no coming back. If I were on the enemy team, I'd likely vote yes for surrender. Why? I don't know why they would even try and go after Lysander. It's not really a viable target for, or a viable candidate for kills. So yeah, now bottom, you should be pinging. I'd be pinging on this tower and trying to get your team to rotate towards it. Because right now there's only 2 of you in bottom lane. There's 1 in mid, and what are you doing? Why are you farming? Why are you here for? I know it's fast, but you should be with your team. I don't know what this Warwick's doing. He should not be farming. At this point in the game, you've got no reason to be farming your jungle. You should be with your team pushing objectives. Or at least you shouldn't be on the opposite side of where your next objective is. If he was farming, say, here, or farming in the enemy jungle, that would make sense. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wow, you didn't even ult. You didn't even ult. Let's watch that again. So Caitlyn's forward farming. You realize that the Caitlyn is in horrible, horrible position. Rotate around. You stay in the shadows. Oh, beautiful. Wow, though. Look at that. Look at that. You didn't even need your ultimate. You killed her with an EQW. Yikes. Yikes! What level is she? She's 15 to your 18, yeah. That's kind of crazy you're able to kill her just flat out with an EQW. I don't know why you ulted there. So once again, that was an issue of what? A, why ult? It's just Thresh. B, why ult where you did? Your first bounce wasn't going to hit him. You need to be focusing on landing that first bounce. Oh, yeah. You need to focus on landing that first bounce. Looks like you're going to pick up 1 more kill. I'm actually hungry, so I'm going to be calling it after this game. But Wednesday, I'll likely do another coaching session. I'd prefer to be doing different people each time, but if nobody else is interested, I'd be happy to look over more games then. But yeah, so I'd say focus on the laning phase. Focus on working on controlling the minion wave. Try and practice the QE combo, because that's how you're going to land your elastic slingshots and get real damage off. Work on your ultimate positioning. I'd say those